Yes, it is. Jill George in the number 48 comes rolling to a stop at the entrance to pit road.
That car just snapped. I mean, it literally just snapped around, went straight into the outside retaining wall, and then flipped over.
Top of your screen, you see
that's
Jesse's
the first
already
thing I
in the
saw.
outside wall.
Oh, I see what happened. He got down on the 48 got down on the apron. The 48 got the left side tires down on the apron, and when
and lost control,
overcorrected, and the car shot right back up across the track into the outside wall and flipped over. See, watch this.
See, that's Jesse Smith cutting the right front tire down.
That's the 29. And see, the 48 gets down on the apron. There's a very good chance with the smoke I saw coming out of that right front of the 48, it may have cut a tire down.
Over and over, it's the 06 of Barry Fitzgerald, and he comes to a stop.
He's already taken the window net down.
Yeah, that was coming out of turn number 2, I believe.
Yeah, it is. You see him moving around in there. That's a good sign. It looks like he's trying to get unbuckled.
Safety crews to him quickly.
Why are these cars turning over today? Every time you look around, there's a car turning over.
And this one was sideways until it got into the grass, and then around it went.
Watch top of your screen. The green and black car, that's Barry Fitzgerald. Gets a little bit loose. Slides off the racetrack and just turns around backwards the wrong way.
These cars they're the way they're set up. When they go on the left side like that, it's just almost they turn over. It's the way the cars are set up.
A violent ride for Barry Fitzgerald in that 06.
There's another view coming off turn 2. You know, and he wasn't in the grass. He was already flipping before he got to the grass right there. So it wasn't a situation where the unevenness of the grass.
No, but when it hit the grass, it did a whole lot more bucking around. I can tell you, the grass is rough.
We can see what happens there, BP. You see Mark Martin there, and looks like Elliott Sadler got turned by Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, looked like he got hit by the 48 car getting down the corner.
And Michael went over twice. Look at the rear end hanging out of Michael Waltrip's car.
The 00 is Mike Skinner.
Okay, watch up front. Watch the 48 car. It just tags the 30. Just tags him. Just doesn't take a whole lot.
Michael coming here.
Poor Michael, he has no place. He makes contact with Rusty Wallace and Mark Martin.
That's what sent him over.
And Mark's the one that launched him.
Oh, man, those cars just getting by on the bottom side.
And like I said, he just looks like these cars are glued, but it just takes somebody to touch one of these bumpers in the wrong way, especially when you're in a corner. You can do it on the straightaway, as long as your steering wheel is straight, but it doesn't take a whole lot to get them sideways.
It really is a tightrope when you're racing here. I mean,
you've got to respect everybody, and the 41 car, the 12 lines up. We talked about this bump drafting thing. He wasn't lined up straight when he hit the 41 car. The 41 car was just a little bit to his left. You got to give him a straight shot, and this was coming through the tri-oval, which is another problem.
And the 16 car, another Nextel Cup point contender, involved in the crash.
As was Rusty Wallace in the 2. Another look.
See how these cars are turning? You can't bump draft somebody when the car is turning.
Once more. There's Biffle in the middle of it. Then he comes down off the wall.
I think would have cleared it, but he kind of got sandwiched.
They're just now coming in the dog leg. Right here, they make contact. You can see him getting sideways right there. Now watch the car just lift right off the ground about here and starts to fly. I can tell you those cars on the outside, They're going, let me get by, and everybody missed him as he slides across there.
Look at Fedowa just shoot right through all that traffic to the infield grass without getting hit. I believe the car that made contact was Bobby Hamilton Jr., number 26. And it looked to me as if Hamilton was as low on the racetrack as he could be. There's his white car. He's right down against the white line.
It looked like the green might have come down a little bit as he went through the trial.
Well, and at that place, the car is very, very light. You can, if you could physically get your hand out the window, you could make a car slide by just touching it with your hand. That's how light they are in that area of the racetrack.
The luckiest fellow in Daytona right then was Tim Fedowa, because he locked the car down and cut it left and came all the way across without incident. Let's ride with Jeff Green. He's trying to hold control of that car, but it slips up the racetrack with a little bit of push. And as Waltrip goes over, when he comes down on his roof,
right on the roof, yes,
and then it just keeps carrying momentum, starts to go.
You know, I raced for 35 years and I never did that.
Good thing.
Never did that. Thank goodness.
He's going to get a tap here, Ned, as he comes off the tri-oval down on the inside of the racetrack.
Right there, he gets touched right there. Now this car goes way up in the air. When it turns around, you see it start to fly there. Turns completely up and pancakes right down on the roof.
That's what did all that roof damage you were talking about. Then it goes into a barrel roll.
Side over side, many, many times. Now it's on the nose of the car and then hits hard on the back.
That looked much like Ricky Rudd's flip here in 1984 and what was then the Busch Blast.
On this stop, this car just loose early on in this race, but they did settle down.
Back straight away. A big hit, and Jimmy Johnson goes spinning
down. Buscher. Oh, man.
Chris Buescher on his lid and lands back on his wheels. Caution.
Oh, man, we saw 4 wide off the corner over there. I was afraid of this.
Michael Annett involved.
3 car was involved.
Chris Buescher had the worst of it. Austin Dillon.
Side. It's
the 35 Gilliland above the 3. Now McMurray in the 1, the red car, comes up, just brushes Austin Dillon.
Turns him into the 35.
And Dillon gets into Gilliland. Joey Logano turned the 48. And Buescher goes for a big tumble.
I didn't think that thing was going to stop rolling there for a second, DW.
Goodness. You give a guy a shot and he shoots him forward.
Oh boy, Stanley Steamer.
Whoa, there's
and around she goes into Kenseth.
Man. Oh gosh.
Up in the air and into the wall hard.
Man, Kenseth.
Man, I thought he was going to catch the catch fence back there. The way it landed was.
I am not believing that.
He's fine, boy. He got the window net down right away out of frustration. The 4 car, Harvick.
Danica climbs out. Radio cord gets disconnected.
She hit him in the right front. And when that happened, just got air underneath the car.
Is anybody left in this race?
Let's watch from the Goodyear aerial coverage, and you'll see several things happen here as Kenseth's car comes back down to earth.
I can tell you, a lot of teams are going to be freezing those shots that look underneath this car.
Right behind the red 21, there's the 3 of them. Whoosh.
You realize how powerful the wind is in that situation to be able to
See
take
the
it.
replay of this one. You won't believe it.
You can see the damage on the roof of that.
It turned over. I'm okay.
You heard Rick. He said it turned over, but I'm okay.
And you can hear the crowd screaming.
We're supposed to throw 4 front tires on it, guys. We're going to get that hood back on it, too.
Take a look here what happens. He's right now, he's racing in the 4th position. He looks to the inside of Todd Bodine. Todd comes down the hill, forces him to the inside. The air gets underneath the truck, turns it over. 1 revolution, and then back on 4 wheels. What a ride.
what a ride. He needs to make sure he doesn't go too fast right now. He's got a flat right front tire. Check out this look. Todd just ping-ponging back and forth, Phil.
Yeah, he bounces off of that Terry Cook truck into Rick Crawford. You can see the tire mark on the right side. You see the wheel still spinning on Rick Crawford's truck while it's up in the air.
He hits the brakes there.
He was finally smart enough to let off. That's pretty. That's using your head. He's flipping over at Daytona and he let off the gas. I'm proud of him for that. He's going to have a flat right front tire. If he can nurse that thing back to the pits, he might be able to keep racing.
Let's take a ride with Terry Cook. Terry Cook was on the outside. He's the truck that Todd Bodine got into. You see there's a contact, and Todd bounces off him into Rick Crawford.
Just 3-wide racing off the turn at Daytona, and these trucks are really unstable this year, Phil. They're a little bit loose, and so any turbulence at all could have kicked Todd Bodine's truck sideways, and he had to go somewhere. He went out, hit Cook, then came off and hit Crawford. Bobby Hamilton has impressed us all with his strategy, stuck to his game plan, and now here he is getting ready to battle for the win at Daytona.
Got a side-by-side battle for the lead. Whoa! Whoa!
Problems early on. Chad Chapin gets spun around and upside down. Chapin back onto his wheels, and we were on board with Dennis Setzer.
Dennis made some contact. Looks like he was trying to bump draft him, and he got Chad turned around. There's Terry Cook. After such a great effort, he was involved in that action a little bit.
Let's take a look.
See what happened. Looks like bump drafting might be. Yeah, Dennis gave him a little shot. Wow.
Wow, completely over. Here goes Terry. Boy, Terry had a wild ride through the grass. He was fortunate that his truck stayed down. You see the roof flap just deploy.
Let's take another look at that one.
Bam! Dennis right there. Give him a little shot in the back and turn Chad's truck around and over, by the way.
Wow, what a view that was.
And hit on the left front wheel, so I'm sure some suspension damage to that, Ray.
Well, guys, they believe that the 30 truck can stay on the lead lap here. They've got the right side tires on, going to the left side here, checking the thing over to make sure everything's okay. They're listening to the spotter. He's got his eye on where the field is coming around, and they think they're going to be able to stay on the lead lap.
We've heard. Oh, here's a car upside down.
Big time crash upside down.
Oh, it's Ryan Newman. See Kevin Harvick there. Marcus Ambrose.
Ambrose is there, comes across. Harvick stops, and Newman's car comes to rest upside down on its roof. We were hoping it would not happen, and here with 5 laps to go, indeed it has.
Hell of a job.
I don't know what started that, but you see quite a bit of damage on that car. Flipped over 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I was looking out the window, but I could not see. That's so far. That's the farthest point away from us. Just couldn't tell what was going on there.
So safety crews are there immediately. They get in the car and will try to communicate with the driver. And watch the car get turned around.
In fact, he and his teammate Tony Stewart got into the wall, but you can see it turns Ryan Newman around. As soon as it does, it's almost like that wing acts as to help to lift the car up. Lands on Kevin Harvick's hood. See Elliott Sadler there involved.
Elliott trying to jam the brakes on to keep from hitting the 39 as it was pirouetting up the track. He's able to miss it. Harvick able to get the car woed down as the 39 just comes rolling down on its roof onto the grass and comes over again another 360 before coming to rest on its top. Casey Mears, Rudiman is there, Reagan is there, Robbie Gordon, Jeff Gordon.
See Montoya driving through the grass.
And the white flag and the yellow flag are waving.
Martin still driving his car.
Now watch what Mark Martin saw as he was riding here to come take the white flag.
Watch the one coming down.
Oh. Man. Yeah, you can't watch something like that. You could hear him say, watch the one coming down, but no time.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s onboard camera here on the final lap.
Say hi, come on.
Goodness gracious life.
You saw Truex's one car just clip the right rear quarter panel.